Cool. Can everyone hear me all right? Mic check. Cool. Can everyone hear me all right? Mic check. Let's see. All right, we're going to get started in 1 second. All right, mic check 1 2 1 2. 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 All right, mic check. All right, what's up, everyone? Cool. What's up, everyone? So what I'm about to do is I'm going to sit down and go through all the video and audio files that we recorded at This Is Hardcore. If you have trouble hearing me, just leave a comment in the chat and I'll try to address it, but I think this should be working. So basically, This Is Hardcore was a little over a week ago. I'm finally now sitting down to go through all the files, and basically it's 1.2 terabytes of video and some external audio sources, so this doesn't include any of the soundboard. So what I'm doing now is basically going to go through and just make sure, well, nothing is organized. I have everything broken out by the camera angle, and that's basically it. So I don't have anything broken out by by band yet. So that's basically what I mean when I say I'm sitting here and I'm triaging everything. It's basically taking all of the, again, a lot of the bands were multicam, so this process is basically making sure that all the video files for each band are in the right folder. So this is it's gonna be a long process. I don't know if I'm gonna get all of it done today, but you'll at least get I'll play a couple clips here and there of the video file so you can see what we're working with. But yeah, again, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the chat, and I will respond to you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm probably gonna just talk about what I remember from the fest, just more or less like a recap. So Friday was interesting because at the last minute, this local-ish area band called No Option got added. So No Option is a young straight edge. I think they're straight edge from Delaware. So they got added at the last minute, which is cool, and they got a really good reaction. So I think that was long overdue for them. These guys have been playing a lot of shows recently, and the response has been getting better and better. And I think that it was cool to see them opening up the fest and getting that response that they did. So they opened, whoops. And then we had World Demise, whoops. So World Demise is Greg from the Mongoloids, and I think most of the band is from Suburban Scum. So Greg was actually working as stage manager for the entire fest. So this was like his one thing that he got to do that wasn't just standing on stage and making sure people weren't tripping over cables and all that shit. After them was Please Die. Please Die is a punk band from Philadelphia. Scary dudes, but they're all actually very nice. I'll play a little bit of them for you. If you haven't seen them before, there are a couple videos on Hey56 that you can check out. After them was Raw Brigade from Colombia. This band was really cool. I ended up seeing them a couple nights later in a small basement show in northern New Jersey, and I thought that was significantly cooler. Not that they were bad at This Is Hardcore, but I felt like they got a really amazing reaction in a much smaller room. After them was True Love, then Regulate, then Shipwrecked. Shipwrecked was from Sweden, I think. After them was Shark Attack. Then we had Bane. Bane was crazy. I'll play a little bit of their set for you in a second. You could tell that they've been touring nonstop, just the way that they were commanding the stage just from the beginning until the very end. It's very obvious that they're like a force to be reckoned with. So anyway, let's just get this started. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing like, so what I have here, I have, Brian is my one camera guy. Jeff was another camera operator. Lewis was also helping out. And then this is my angle. So basically what I'm going to get, what I have to do is I literally have to play some of these clips to figure out what bands are in each file. And then I'm going to move them to the folder that they belong to. So let's just do this. So we'll start with Brian. Brian came a little late and he filmed. Okay. With Brian. Brian came a little late and he filmed. 1 second. Yeah. So this is Bane. I told Brian just to try to focus on getting drum shots. Again, he was running late and he was very stressed about a bunch of shit, so I told him just to hang in the back and mostly get drum shots for the 3 bands that he was able to catch. So I'm pretty excited about this. So the plan is, if you saw my Patreon-ish video that I posted on YouTube a couple days ago, we have drum cam footage for a lot of the bands, and we will be posting drum cam exclusive stuff on Patreon. So if you like drum cam stuff and you're a Patreon subscriber, you will be seeing a lot of the stuff in its more or less in its entirety. So again, Brian didn't really deviate much from the drums. I told him, again, I had 3 other guys filming, so I told him just focus on the drums and don't worry about anything else. So I'm just gonna move this one to here. It's Bane. Next, after them, I believe, was Incendiary. Yeah, so again, I told Brian just to focus on getting mostly drum shots for them as well. So top left here, you can see Jeff Davis. Jeff was the one who is responsible for all the slow motion clips. He brought his Lumix GH5, which shoots at 180 FPS. So he's right now going through and pulling out all the really cool slow motion stuff for me right now. So we're gonna be posting that stuff on Patreon as well. If you see here, sort of the top center of the screen, that's Lewis from Jesus Piece. He really wanted to help shoot, and again, Brian was running late, so I had an extra camera. So I told Lewis just to hop on, and he was having a lot of fun with it. So that was cool. I think he definitely wants to keep helping out in the future. So it's always nice to know who I can count on if someone's running late and I need them to hop on. So I'll drop that there. Next up, again, this should be 10-yard fight. Yeah. So 10-yard fight was cool. I got to talk to Wrench a little bit before the set. So if you don't know, Wrench is the vocalist for 10-yard fight. He used to do a lot of video stuff back in the day. And when I first started, I sent him a lot of emails, and he was super helpful and super humble and answered a lot of my questions. So it was cool to finally meet him and talk to him about just filming and shows and, talk about how far Hate by Six has come. So I was glad I got to shoot this set for him, and I think he and the rest of the band are super excited to see the video that's going to come out from that. So all right, so that's it for Brian's angle. Let's go down to Jeff, and again, so Jeff was mostly behind. He was stage left, mostly behind the stacks. So he was getting mostly crowd shots with some of the stage left guitars and maybe a little bit of drum cam as well. So that's more or less what I told him to focus on. And we did a good number of multicams this year. Not every band, but we did a good chunk of them. So this is True Love. play a little bit of this for you guys. I'll turn it up so you can actually hear it. Again, so there's no, this is all the raw audio coming from the camera, so it's not going to sound great. So this gives you a sense of what we have coming in to work with and what we try to produce afterwards when we're done, when we're mixing in the soundboard feeds and everything. Cool, so that is True Love, so I'm gonna move this into that folder. So someone's asking if the guy on the barricade, it was one of my guys. Yeah, so on Saturday and Sunday, actually the entire weekend, there was a barricade in the middle of the floor, basically to encourage people to move up and tighten the crowd a little bit. I had Brian on Saturday and Sunday standing, there was a little ledge on the barricade, and I had Brian standing on there and getting a lot of forward-facing, front-facing shots of the stage and of people like in the pit. So I'll play a little bit of that for you once we get to day 2. But you'll see it's like really good. It's really cool, and I'm really glad that we decided to do it because it's a perspective that I haven't really fucked with before, at least with This Is Hardcore videos. So the setup for this year was we had I was on stage right, Jeff was sort of stage left rear. I had like an extra person on stage left that was sort of rotating out between Lewis, my friend Justin, and Stephen McDonald. And then I had Brian basically in the crowd on that barricade facing the stage. So that was, it's really cool. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get to day 2. I'll play a little bit of that. So after this was, okay. So this is the first minute and a half of Regulate. This is from Brian. This is from Jeff's perspective. So what happened was, you'll see in a second. Actually, you don't see it, but basically someone was stage diving, and they kicked the camera, and they accidentally like turned it off or something. So that's why it cuts off, and then it should pick up here. It took Jeff like about 30 seconds to like reset the camera. Yeah, so it resumes here, basically. So his angle, we lose maybe 30 seconds, but that's fine because, again, we had full coverage coming from my angle and coming from the other angles that were also running during that set. So these two are for Regulate, so put that here. Next up, what is this? Oh, this is Shark Attack. But this is just them setting up, so we don't really need this clip, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. Then this should be the full Shark Attack set. And this is from Jeff's angle, so stage left. So for some of the sets, Jeff was stage left, and I think Lewis was behind the kit. So Shark Attack got like a decent reaction. I think people were a little unsure. But again, they played like a surprise set back in February at the Nick Rotunda Memorial Show, and that was kind of cool to see. And I don't know how their United Blood set went. I mean, they sort of told me that it was a little like lukewarm, but I thought This Is Hardcore set was pretty good. All right, so this is again. So now this is Bane from Jeff's perspective. This is the beginning of the set, so I'll play a little bit so you guys can see it. This is the beginning of the set, so I'll So they had red lights on for most of the set. Jeff had, just for simplicity, Jeff had autofocus on. I typically do manual. And I think the red was fucking with the focus a little bit during the beginning, but it looks to be fine now for the most part. So someone's asking who the kids with the GoPro stabilizers were. I only saw people with stabilizers during E-Town on Sunday. I think they were with E-Town. They weren't with me, so I don't know what they were working on. If there were other people with stabilizers, well, so Jeff had his GH5 DSLR on a stabilizer, but and we had like a fixed GoPro mounted next to the kit, but we didn't have anything on. We didn't have any GoPros on a stabilizer, so I don't actually know who those were. Next up is, all right, this is Incendiary. Play a little bit for you. Cool. I mean, Incendiary always has a great set. I've never seen them play anything besides an amazing set, so it's cool because you know, I mean, it was crazy. It was basically Bane, Incendiary, and then 10-yard fight. This is like the end of the Incendiary set. I don't know why it's split up. I think maybe Jeff's card switched. Once a card fills up on these cameras, it switches to a new card, so it's possible that's what happened. Because normally it should be in the same folder. And this should be Jeff's 10-yard fight set. Yep. My top 3 sets from This Is Hardcore. Good question. Bane was definitely crazy. I thought that Marauder was insane. Marauder was one of the craziest things I've seen in a long time, especially at the fest. Just a sea of people just beating the fuck out of each other. One King Down was also amazing. I knew that they were going to be good, but I wasn't sure if they were going to get like a great reaction. But out of all the headlining bands, I think they got probably one of the better reactions. So definitely those 3. I'm looking at the lineup now to see if there's anyone else that jumps out. Yeah, I would say for Friday, Bane, no option was cool. And again, it was cool to see a local band get a good reaction. Those were my 2 highlights, and obviously 10-yard fight was cool. Let's see. All right, so we should be done with Jeff. So now we're gonna go into my angle. So again, I film everyone, so we should have everyone. Okay, so this is the beginning of No Option set. So they were the first band to open up. Yeah, I would say No Option was my favorite opener this year, and I'm biased because they're a localish band, and I wanted them to get a great reaction, and they did. I kind of regret not multicamming, no option. I mean, the issue is that it was so early in the day and not everyone, not my entire team wasn't there yet, so it's a little unfortunate, but at least we got some video on that. Cool, so this is Demise. Again, it's Greg Falsetto from Mongoloids, and I think the rest of the band, or at least some of the band, was from Suburban Scum. So it's cool to see Greg doing vocals for a new band. I've been filming Greg in bands since like I first started filming. Again, it's mostly with the Mongoloids. I think it was actually only with the Mongoloids. But it was cool just to see him back on the mic. Cool. Yeah. My impressions of One King Down. I thought they killed it. They were very tight, and like Rob had played with Most Precious Blood a couple years back, and it was good. But I thought the One King Down set was significantly tighter, and I felt like he was in his element doing this set, and especially with the crowd was giving them the response that I thought they deserved. Once we get to day 2, I'll play a little bit of that for you. So this is Raw Brigade. Again, these guys came all the way out from Colombia, and they played a good set. And like I said, I ended up filming them again a couple nights later in a small basement in New Jersey, and that was crazy. So that should be up on the site soon. So if you haven't checked these guys out, I hope you'll watch that video and give them some love. So let's keep going. Next up, this is Please Die. Cool. So, keep going. Oh, okay. So yeah. So someone's asking me about three knee deep, not One King Down. 3 Knee Deep was interesting. I had been told that it was going to be a crazy set, and then I should definitely pay attention. And it was a crazy set. A lot of kids were going off for them. I had only seen them in a video once from FYA. Well, this is True Love. So it was cool. I don't know how many of the people in the crowd were from Florida and how many people were, I mean, for me, like, I'm a little slow when it comes to finding new music, and like hearing new bands. So I don't always know if the people in the crowd going off for a band are like their friends from their hometown, or if they're actually like kids from all over the place, you know, who happen to really dig the band. Either way, it's cool to see. Well, this is Regulate, so we'll drop that in here. They got a crazy reaction, and I think it's because they have that new record, and the entire room was having fun with that set. All right, so this is Shipwrecked from Sweden. They took a long time to set up. I don't know if there were like technical issues or what, but we were starting to run a little late because of the set. Not blaming them. I think like there's always issues that happen with gear and setup and all that shit. So during Shipwreck was when things started to get a little concerning about whether or not we were going to stay on time or not. Where are we now? So this is Shipwrecked again. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so there were a couple false starts where I started recording thinking the set was beginning, and it wasn't. So this is one of them. So that's actually the Shipwreck set. Next up, Alright, this is the beginning of the Shark Attack set. Again, mostly set up here, so I don't care about that. But this is what I want. Alright, so that's Shark Attack. Alright, so I knew this was going to happen. So someone's telling me to get a certain video out. Someone is telling me to post the Show Me the Body set. So maybe this is like a little instructive exercise. I don't control when videos come out. You, the viewers, are in control of what gets posted every day. So every day is viewer's choice on Hate56. And so how it works is if you go to hate56.com/vote, you can go here and you can see all of the videos that have been filmed and have not been posted yet. So everything that's green is edited and it's ready to be released. Everything that's red is stuff that I am currently editing. So I added these filters today, so you can actually filter it by videos that are edited or videos that are unedited, or sorted by band. So if you go here, you type "Show Me the Body." That's weird. That's odd. Strangely enough, the Show Me the Body set is not showing up on here. Very strange. I don't think it was actually posted yet. It shouldn't have been posted. Let's see. Strange. I queued it up. I don't know why it's not showing up. But in any event, as I was saying, I don't control when videos get released. That's completely up to you. And so you go here and you can actually vote. So tomorrow's video is likely going to be Foreign Hands because they have 7 votes. So if you really want to see a video, you go here and vote. I don't control what videos. I only film the videos. It's up to you to vote for what comes out when. So again, the whole purpose of this is to make Hate56 a community-run project where you, the viewers, have much more control and say in terms of what content is produced and when it gets released. So that's on you. That's on you to figure out when it comes out, not me. Let's keep going here. Next up was... Alright, so this is the Bane set. I'll play a little bit. This is my angle. I'll play the first couple minutes of the beginning of the Bane set.
It is now time for you all to enter the
Cool. So there you go. That's the beginning of the Bane set. Actually, while that was playing, Show Me the Body is actually in the queue. Oh, I have to refresh this. There we go. So Show Me the Body has 5 votes. Again, literally only 5 people have voted for this video. But the #1 video right now only has 7 votes. So really, if 3 people vote for Show Me the Body, it'll be posted tomorrow. So again, Hate56 is a completely democratic site now. Viewers control the content. So there you go. Again, everything that's green has been edited and it's ready to be released. Everything that's red is stuff that I'm in the process of editing. So all this stuff here is, this is hardcore. Everything here, and then this stuff is a show that I filmed last night. So again, if you go to hate56.com/vote, you'll see roughly what videos, where the videos are ranked, and you can get a rough sense of when they're coming out. So yeah, have fun with that. So let's keep going with this. Let's see. So where did I say? We left off at Bane, right? So yeah. So that was a crazy set. I'm very excited to edit that one. I mean, everyone loves new Bane footage, so that'll be a fun one to work on when we are ready to cross that bridge. So next up should be Incendiary. Alright, so next up should be my 10-yard fight angle. Cool. All right, let's keep going. So this was 10-yard fights. All right, so I'm basically, okay, I'll show you what I'm looking at. I think these are just random clips that I don't really need. Yeah, cool. So I can actually delete these 3, and that's it for the video. The other thing that we did, we had 3 separate, aside from the soundboard, we had 3 separate audio sources running. I had a digital audio recorder on my camera, which is these files.
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
If you listen, you'll actually hear it. It's not that bad.
Bring this shit in. Where they say from Richmond, Virginia. This song's called Label. Let's fucking go.
All right, that was actually the pre-show. So that was Thursday night, was Naysayer. So I'm trying to find.
Philadelphia! We are Dog Eat Dog. We're proud to be.
All right, so that's Dog Eat Dog. That was Thursday. This should be no.
All right, let's just see how this.
No, not that one.
Yo. If you're outside, make your way inside.
Cool. So I actually don't need to really triage this stuff. I've basically given, I've already given these audio files to the sound engineers, so they have the soundboard feeds, and I've given them all of these external ambient mics. So I don't think I need to triage them right now. So I might hold off from doing that right now. But again, so that was a source I had on my camera. I also had a separate digital audio recorder at the back of the stage, sort of facing the audience. So I'll play like the Bane one for you. And then we also had a, I was getting a very basic stereo feed from the back of house soundboard. So there's, at the Electric Factory, there's two soundboards. There's the back of house, and basically everything from the stage runs through there. They process it, then it gets sent to the front of house mix, and that's sort of what you hear in the venue. So Len Carmichael from Landmine Studios is my sound guy who records who multi-tracks everything. So he hooks into the back of house board because it's a much cleaner signal for him to work with. So he was back there, and I also was basically getting a stereo feed from that board as well, just as a fail-safe. And we had an ambient mic back there, but I think that's probably gonna sound like shit. But let's just check it out. Yeah. So again, that's the fail-safe stereo mix from the board, and then this will be the accompanying ambient mic. So honestly, we're probably not going to use much of that, but it's there just in case. Because there's always going to be technical issues where something might drop out, we might lose connection, and we need to be able to fall back on an external audio source. So we had a couple rolling. So worst case scenario, if we lose a soundboard for a band, or if something cuts out for a song or two, we can fall back and use one of these. So that's the reason why we do it. So let's move on to, again, I think that's it for. That should be it for day one. I'm just cleaning up some of these folders that we don't need. Okay, actually, we still have to do Lewis's angle. So, where are we at here? Okay, so what we tried doing was we tried setting up into one of these extra cameras on a tripod next to the kit, but the tripod was shaking a lot. I mean, it's not, if you're just a casual viewer, you won't notice it, but there is a lot of shaking going on here. So we decided it was probably best to not keep the camera on the tripod for the rest of the weekend, at least for the drum cam stuff. but it's not terrible. Anyway, so we can move this to True Love. And then, whoops. Okay, so here's an interesting issue. We were renting. I ended up renting multiple cameras from a external vendor, and it looks like 2 of the cameras were naming the files the same thing. So this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Basically, this folder is AA0001, and this was the one angle, but then the other camera has the same fucking folder name. So basically, I'm gonna have to do something stupid like that just to avoid any collisions. All right, this was regulate. Again, I'm just gonna put a -2. After them, this is the beginning of Shark Attack. All right, so this is a throwaway. We don't need that. Then this should be the actual Shark Attack set. Cool. So throw that in there. Next up. Alright, that is Bane.
Good evening, this is...
Should be Incendiary next. And then this should be 10-yard fight. Yep. Cool. All right, so that should be everything for day 1. Let's just double check. Empty. And again, I'm not going to bother with these audio sources because generally what's going to happen is so these are the 4 angles that we had running for this example 10-yard fight. I'm going to get the mix back from the engineers, and then I'll be working with that audio file directly. And I theoretically shouldn't need to actually use the these external audio sources because the engineers will be the ones who incorporate that into the mix. So I don't need to worry about that. So let's move on to day 2. As you can see, this is riveting. This is what it's like to just sit here and triage an entire fest. So I actually have the lineup here, so I can create the... Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, so let's just go down. I'm looking at this whole thing. So one king down. This was on, so day 2 was the 28th, I think. Saturday the 28th, so. Wait, 07, 28. All right, so next up was 18 Visions. That was a difficult set because they were basically playing pitch black, and we had a hard time capturing good video. You'll see what I mean. All Out War was difficult. The hi-hat was mismiked. Basically, the mic for the hi-hat was touching the hi-hat, so we were everything that the crowd was hearing was just like all fucking hi-hat because it was hitting the microphone, and it was overpowering everything. And it took a minute for them to fix that. Harvest was cool. Marauder again was one of the craziest things I've seen. Knock Loose got a great reaction, and I was very excited to see them get the response that they did. Those guys were very honored to be playing the fest too, which was sweet. Shattered Realm was the one and only time that Joe got to be on stage and do a thing that wasn't kicking people off for stage diving. So it's cool to see him in his element. K9 was cool. Trail of Lies was sick. I thought the crowd was a little tame, and I don't know if they were just tired by that point, but it was a good set. Candy was a set that I was really excited about, and I thought that they... I was glad that they finally got on the best. Year of the Knife played one of the definitely one of the more fun sets of the weekend. So we'll play a little bit of that in a minute. Numb came from all the way, came all the way from Japan, and the crowd was very receptive of them. Departed was before them, then Invoke, then Safe and Sound, and then No Victory. Ugh, fucking tired. All right, so let's do this. Let's start with 4th can. What do we got here? Okay, so this is Candy from stage left. If you don't know, so Candy is I don't know the lead singer's name, but he was in Malfunction, which I really liked. I highly recommend checking both those bands out. Next up, oh, okay, this is Year of the Knife. Yeah, I don't want to spill too much of that because that was a fun set, and so we had multiple cameras running for that, and I'm very excited to work on that one. So next up should be okay. This is the okay. This is Trail of Lies. So Trail of Lies. After that, Knock Loose. Yeah. There you go. All right, so this is All Out War. Someone decided to show up in a toucan, some style toucan bird costume, and they wore this the entire set, and so it was just completely ridiculous the entire time. So. Here we go. Okay, so this is 18 Visions. Yeah, I mean, they literally played in the dark, so there's not much we can do about that. After that, okay, one king down. Fuck. Yeah, okay. I just remembered how much fun watching that set was. Alright, so that's one king down. What is this? This might be the end of the set. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so that is this guy. Alright, so we can get rid of this folder. Next up is Brian's angle, and again, Brian for the pretty much the rest of the weekend, Brian was on the barricade facing the stage.
Next let's go! Say a fucking thing!
Cool, so that is Numb. Pop that in there. After them. Another Numb. I don't think he did the full Numb set. Again, so this was, we were basically testing out the idea, how well will that angle work. So after the num set, he came back to me and was like, yo, this is going to be cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we decided to just keep him in there for the rest of the night. Yeah, I really like that angle, and I think that hopefully next year we can do the same thing, because I think, I mean, I'm excited about it, and I hope that when the final videos are produced and out there, people will be into them as well. It just gives a different perspective that we haven't really fucked with before at the fest. Cool, so that is Year of the Knife. Okay, this, yeah, Triage. I'll show you the end of the set. I think it was pretty crazy. Throwaway shot. Alright, so that is Shattered Realm, which I'm sure is going to make... It's gonna cause some discussion about whether or not that's Shadow Realm or not. Cool. That's Knock Loose. Put that here.
What's up?
Oh, okay. This is Marauder. That is Harvest. So we had a couple cameras rolling for them. Basically what we did this year was I asked Patreon subscribers to vote for what bands they wanted to see multicam. So I had that poll running for like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and then basically I looked at the results, and whatever, more or less, what viewers wanted to see is what we multicam. Okay, that's All Out War. Yeah, it's just so dark for 18 villains. Kind of bummed, but again, not much you can do about that. Sorry, 1 king down. Alright, next up is Jeff's. Oh, actually, okay, we had a lot of drum camp stuff. Alright, I gotta go through that. Let's just do this multicam stuff first. So let's do Jeff next.
Raise your hand, this is your first time. You guys okay? Let's go!
Marauder. All Out War.
Let's get fucking loose!
Alright, that should do it for Jeff. And then my angle.
Before we start, I want to thank Joe, the Electric Factory, Chris, everybody who played a part and put this on. This side goes out to Unbeaten and Purgatory, and this is for Dan Bond. Victory.
Alright, that was no victory. Next should be safe and sound. Yep. After them should be invoke. After them should be Departed. Oh yeah. That's the singer Joe's young daughter before the set. So I'm gonna save that clip. So I think he wants me to send that to him later. So then this should be another one, another one of her. And then this should be the set. Yeah. He came out in like a robe. I don't know if he did that last year. I can't remember. Yeah, this is Numb from Japan. Candy? Yep. Year of the Knife. Trail of Lies. King 9.
Yo!
Oh, For the Love of. That was a fun set. They played after the dinner break, so I feel like people were outside for them, but played a really great sound. Alright. Knock loose.
What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Marauder. Harvest. All at war. Yeah. Visions. And then this should be one king down. Alright. So that's it from my angle. Again, we have all this drum cam stuff that I'm probably going to save this for a little later. I'll play a couple clips just so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna sort through that stuff maybe tomorrow. Let's move on to day 3. Let's wrap this one up. So here we go. So this should be $29. Archangel. District 9. Wisdom and Chains. Carnivore ED. Agents of Man was cool. They did, I think, 2 Boulders covers at the end, and people were just literally beating the shit out of each other. Sworn Enemy. Queensway was amazing. I had fun last year, but I thought this year's was significantly better. Mind Force played one of my favorite sets the entire weekend. I've never seen them play a bad set. Trinity, Bamakara, and Sanction. Alright, let's do this. Start off with Brian's angle. Okay, this is Vamakara. Next should be 3 knee deep. Yeah. Mind Force. Sanction. People were saying they felt like Sanction they were the Bane of this year. Basically, the set that they played and the reaction they got was very similar to what Bane got last year. I can see that. I think that was a fair assessment. Queensway. This looks like Sworn Enemy. Yeah. Jesus Beast. Twitching Tongues. A lot of just like random clips here. Alright, this looks like the beginning of Wisdom in Chains. Here's Jeff. Jeff's running 2 cameras. He's filming the drummer with his right hand and then using his slow motion camera with his left. If you don't know Jeff, make sure you follow Feet First Productions on YouTube and everywhere else. They do a lot of really, really good work. It's Jeff and Andy, 2 guys from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. So again, Jeff is in the process of going through like 16 some hours of slow motion footage, and he's basically going to be sending me some highlight reels and clips like that, and we'll be posting them on the Patreon page. So keep an eye out for that. Where am I at now? No. Oh, District 9. Archangel. Looks like the end of the Archangel set. And this should be Alright, the rest of this stuff is just random B-roll, which I'm probably going to keep. It looks like there was some stuff here that might be cool for later, so I'm just going to rename this to B-roll. Again, we have a drum cam. I'll do it later. Next up is Jeff. This is Vamakara. Three knee deep. Mind Force. Sanction. Yeah, Queensway. Oops. Put that there. Sworn Enemy. Piece. Yep. Twitching tongues. This is Wisdom in Chains. District 9. Archangel, and then this should be E10. All right, that's it for Jeff's angle. What else we got here? Steven McDonald helped out with some stuff. It's a throwaway clip. Three knee deep. Queensway. Oops. Wrong folder. These are both twitching tongues. What's next? Straight line. So I think something happened to Steven's camera. This is his first time maybe filming anything. He's someone who's watched a lot of Hey56 videos, and I needed a hand, and he seemed like a good choice. I think I did not check the settings correctly when I gave him the camera, because it's something happened with the shutter speed. You can see it's slightly more, if you look closely, it's not, it's a little jittery. So it looks like his shutter speed was like at 124 and it should have been at 160. Yeah, so I honestly might not even use that angle. It only happened for a couple of these sets, but that's how it goes. Someone's asking how I recover from holding the camera. That's a good question. My shoulder was killing me for the last for a week after the fest. My shoulder was killing me. My shoulder, my feet, my arm was fine. I think since I've been doing it for so long that I'm like kind of used to it, but it's not easy to deal with. All right, this is the end of the E-Town set. Fuck, I'm so bummed about the shutter speed. I mean, the average viewer might not notice. But I noticed, but we'll see. I might use his angle sparingly. We'll see. Alright, one more folder, then we're done. So this is mine. This is Vamakara. Some random clip here I don't need. Three knee deep. Mind Force. Sanction. Queensway. This looks like, oh, this is Agents of Man. This is a fun set. And again, yeah, they covered bulldoze at the end, and that was pure mayhem. Back here. Oh, this is Lionheart. Jesus piece. Oh, Carnivore AD, okay. Here we go. Couple more. This is Wisdom. D9. Archangel. And this should be E-Town. Yep. Cool. Alright, so I think that should wrap it up for the triage. So again, basically we started out with a big folder of everything unorganized. And what I just finished was basically organizing everything, breaking everything out by band. So now when I'm going to start editing the videos, I'll have all the angles already in the folders that I need them in. So for example, when I work on Jesus Piece, I'll go in here and I'll have all the angles that I need for them. So we have that done for all 3 days. I do need to go back and do the drum cam stuff again. So this is like, I'll show you a clip here. This is like the Wisdom and Chains drum cam. Again, the drum cam stuff will be available on Patreon. If you're a Patreon subscriber, they'll be on there. We'll start posting them soon, along with some slow motion stuff. But that's about it for now. The only other update I have is the engineers are starting to work on the sets. So again, within the next couple weeks, we'll be kicking things off. Besides that, again, just to reiterate. If you go to hate56.com/vote, you can vote for what videos come out. So basically, every day is viewer's choice. So every day 1 or 2 videos gets posted to the site, and it's up to you, the viewers, to vote to determine what those videos are. So if you go here, you can click on, there's some buttons here. You can actually look to see, you can sort by band or sort by the newest videos in the queue. You can sort by videos that are edited or videos that are not edited yet. Everything that is green has been edited and is eligible to be voted for. You can vote for anything, but basically if it's green, it's ready to be released. So every day, the green videos that have the most votes get released. And while that's happening, I'm sitting here and editing all the other videos. So everything that's red are videos that I'm currently editing. So all this stuff right here is all of This Is Hardcore. That big chunk. This top thing here is a show that I filmed last night, which will be edited either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, so I'm basically going through and editing a bunch of stuff, and the rest is up to you, the viewers, to vote for what you want to see. That's about it. I'm gonna go get some dinner because I'm fucking hungry. But thanks for tuning in, and yeah. Again, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll start seeing some bonus stuff from This Is Hardcore soon. If you're not on there, I hope you'll consider joining, because your support is what helps make these videos a reality. I mean, now that I'm trying to do this full time, your support is keeping the roof over my head and helping me actually focus on getting this shit done. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys soon.